Hello and welcome back to the Analysis Corner. And apparently we have a... All right, never mind. Welcome back to the Analysis Corner. I'm Brycey. Joining me, fellow Brit and Epsilon player. Swanee, how are you, my friend?
Pretty good, actually. Surprisingly exhausted. It's surprising how draining playing video games all day can be, and I'm sure the guys in Optic are actually feeling that after playing for, what, 8 hours straight, I think?
Yeah, they have had a long day, but they made it to the final.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, yesterday, you know, kind of disappointing result against us, good for us, but today they've just turned it up to a whole nother level, and I think even when we were, you know, up on them for a map, and Gandhi's just thrown something to Bryce, but as I was saying, even when we were on the brink of victory versus them, you know, you can never count Optic out, and that's exactly what they've proven.
Yeah, it's one of those things that even when they dropped into the losers bracket, you still put money on Optic Gaming, right? So there was a lot of people going, yeah, they dropped, so what? And it's one of those things, for a team to be that strong, that you still kind of go, well, they'll probably still win the tournament, even when they go into the losers bracket straight away. Obviously, you put them there. It's amazing how kind of, and they've proved it, right? They've gone through teams over and over and over again today. It's been a long grind. So, Swan, you've played them twice at this tournament. Your second one, obviously, you lost. It was very, very close. How do you think they're feeling right now? I mean, it's the end of the day. It's been a long slog. You think they've still got it in them?
Oh, I think they want this more than ever, and you know, you look at players such as Krim, just this pure winning mentality. I mean, I'm surprised a controller didn't hit me in the face after coming through the booth after they lost that yesterday versus us, because they must have been absolutely furious with their performance, you know. But they've pulled it back today, and from a player's perspective, I think it's hard to kind of quantify just how much they've stepped it up today in comparison to when we played them yesterday. And that's kind of only something that because we played them both days, obviously, only something that we kind of recognize is just today they're winning more gunfights, they're just more clinical, they afford, you know, less mistakes, basically.
Well, I have the maps here, and I'm going to use your incredible Call of Duty knowledge to kind of go through this. So, this is how the Grand Finals is going to play out. First of all, Solar Hardpoint. Faze versus Optic, how do you think this goes down?
Well, given the fact that Optic just absolutely demolished Denial on that map, and a team of Denial's caliber as well, I think you have to give it to Optic. They beat us on it in the previous series, so another thing which comes into play is they're familiar with it, you know, that they're kind of, they're situational players, they're already warmed up on that map, they know exactly what's going on. And again, just testament to their performance today. We beat them yesterday on that map pretty convincingly, and they've just came out today and, you know, kind of turned it around and beat us on it. So, Optic on that map.
All right, next map, Search and Destroy on Detroit. Now, bearing in mind Search and Destroy, sorry, it's not been going great for Optic so far this tournament. They have dropped a significant many.
Yeah, I mean, even though they just beat us on Search and Destroy, I haven't actually seen them on Detroit, and Denial were looking incredibly strong, especially against us. I'll give it a Denial.
They did just beat Denial on it as well, but admittedly, Formal did have to go like supersonic for that. He picked up 4 kills with a sniper in about 7 seconds. Yeah,
I mean, interesting if you guys have seen kind of more people use snipers, as he said, in the pistols. That's actually because there was a buff just before this event, which actually made the pistols or increased the damage or something. So it kind of makes it a more viable option, and that's why we've seen, you know, players such as Formal attach, bring out the sniper.
Okay, so Search and Destroy Detroit. What do you think?
Just for the sake of giving it to Faze, I'll give it to Faze.
Okay. Comeback Uplink.
We actually beat him on which is incredibly surprising because I regard it Uplink as Optic's best game mode, and we somehow managed to beat him on that. But
Denial beat them just now as well.
Yeah, on comeback as well.
Yeah, I believe it was. It was.
But do we want to give it to Faze? Can you honestly see Faze taking a 2-1 lead in the first best of 5, despite?
I wouldn't put it against them. They've only dropped 2 maps this entire tournament.
All right, for the sake of being controversial, we'll give it to Faze. That takes Faze to 2-1.
Detroit Hardpoint.
Interesting the game because we obviously just played Optic on that, and they beat us. In fact, out of the 4 hardpoints we've played against Optic, that's probably their strongest at this event. So I'll give it to them 2-2. We're going last map in the first best of 5.
Recovery, Search and Destroy.
Could go either way. Don't have a clue. We've obviously seen a pretty infamous recovery. I think it was Columbus at the start of this game. Completely different rosters, of course, but still, for nostalgic purposes, it's worth mentioning that FaZe ended up taking Optic down on recovery, which was the last map of that series, of course.
Okay, so bearing in mind that we're kind of guessing here, we're going on to the second best of 5. And we're going to work out if it gets there. If Optic win the first one, the second one. First of all, we're starting off Biolab Hardpoint.
I'm honestly not sure. It all depends. I couldn't give calls for the second best of 5 because it all depends on kind of the momentum from the first best of 5 and which way it goes. Obviously, if Optic win the first best of 5, then I'd obviously pick them to win the second just based on momentum and the fact that, you know, after how much they've accomplished today, because they'd be so close to actually achieving that they just pushed them that extra distance.
Now, I don't think this is the map because this is actually played at this event, so this map list may be wrong. For this one, it says Terrace, Search and Destroy.
Ah, splendid. I think someone mentioned actually if it's Terrace on there, then it's Riot, so I presume it's Riot instead.
Right, okay.
Again, that's a map we actually beat Optic on. Interesting point about Optic's gameplay, I guess, in Search and Destroy, and it'd be interesting to see if Faze actually acknowledge and recognize this. Is they'll always play as a team. That rarely will they send sort of one guy doing something random or on the flank. It's always team-based pushes, trading. It's all methodical and calculated. You're
right. I mean, it's very rare they'll do. If they do a flank, it's numbers. They send massive numbers. They rarely do that kind of lone warrior or even a 2-2 split. They play so close together, and I think that's to draw on their gun skill. They're so confident that they can win gunfights, they make sure that they've got the bodies there to trade it.
No, absolutely. And I mean, that actually worked against them. That worked in our favor because I've watched Optic play numerous times, you know, throughout the entirety of X Games, how they played at S&D. And I literally said to my teammates, look, if we kind of mix it up a bit, play, you know, unorthodox, it's going to catch them off guard because we know if one guy's there, there's always going to be his teammates in a trading position.
Okay, Detroit Uplink will be the next one.
Yeah, Detroit Uplink. Again, it's one of Optic's best maps. They absolutely demolished us on it. Largely down to the fact that you've got an SMG in Scump who just pushes out skill, single-handedly wins them the game, gets a 2 and 3 piece, and it allows whoever else to just run the ball.
He has had a fantastic tournament. I think I saw some stats earlier that 3 of Optic are in the top Slayers list. I think it was top 8 Slayers at this tournament.
It's not surprising.
No, it's not. It's not surprising at all. Retreat Hardpoint.
Again, we've seen numerous performances from Formal on this map in
this
pretty much every grand final. I think that's, as we said, you know, that's his domain. That's where we expect him to kind of shine.
Okay. Biolab, Search and Destroy.
Is that the last map in the second best of 5? Then I'm not even going to say anything. We'll just wait and see what happens
when it gets there. You know who's the winner? Us.
Yep.
That is. Okay. I'm going to ask you this, but for me, I'm just going to make a quick point of it saying these two teams, we haven't seen them play each other. Faze look dominant. Optic have looked dominant apart from against you. I'm really struggling to kind of judge how they're going to match up against each other. I think maybe Faze have a very similar kind of setup to you in terms of the barrel strengths, the SMG strengths. So it could be one of those ones where it's very, very close again. What do you think?
I mean, it's fairly evenly matched, as you said. I think the only difference is, well, you've obviously got the 2 former EG Cole kind of leaders of each team. You've got Krim on one side, Clay on the other. Clay matches up with Former with the R, and then the other 3, you know, they kind of match up fairly uniformly. So, it isn't as though Optic are completely unfamiliar with the other team. You know, the matchups are definitive. They know kind of who their counterpart is, and it all comes down to each individual needs to be pulling their weight. If each individual from either team, if someone's kind of letting them down at this level, you're not going to win.
All right, well, there we go. We have covered all of the maps. We're about to start this grand final here at UMG, but first, let's take a little look at the teams.
Welcome to the UMG Dallas Grand Final, ladies and gentlemen. Benson and Jack going to be in the casting booth for this one. Optic Gaming going up against Team Faze in what could potentially be one of the best Grand Finals of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm excited for this. Of course, Faze coming in from the winner's bracket. They only need to win 3 maps in this first best of 5 to be crowned the UMG champions. Of course, Optic Gaming will now need to win 2 best of 5s, a position we haven't really seen throughout Advanced Warfare.
That's the best point about it, Ben. Prior to this weekend, everyone's saying Faze versus Optic, probably going to be your finals.
Right.
Did a lot of people think Optic would be coming from the losers? No, not at all. Game number 1 is starting up. Solar Hardpoint, Ben.
And it's crucial. Just talking about the fact that Optic was in the losers bracket, I was speaking to a lot of the pros, and I was saying, you know, when you're in the losers bracket, you can get a lot of momentum from that. But it also works in the opposite way. You can sometimes get a little bit too tired. We saw it happen to Faze several times in Advanced Warfare, where they just weren't able to take the second best of 5. We'll see if that's going to be any different this time with Optic Gaming.
Absolutely, Benson. The Faze versus Optic Gaming finals, always a pleasure to watch. Now, I know the fans out there are pretty split. I want to hear some yelling from the crowd. If you think Faze can take this best of 5 and win UMG Dallas, make some noise.
Yo, Faze got some fans right here in Dallas. That was actually pretty loud.
All right.
Curious to hear the Green Wall fans in the crowd? That's a little loud. Little loud, as expected.
You always got to expect that one off the start. Optic Gaming out to an early lead. 15 seconds remaining on this first hill. We'll have the first rotation towards the pipe side coming up first.
Score currently at 15-4 as Formal going to be on your screen. He's going to drop now over towards Crim6. Karma, he's going to drop as well. Scumpy currently at 2 and 3. Going to be on your screens on the Hardpoint as well. Up to Gaming with a 22-9 point lead.
The matchup you're going to see all series long. Formal up against Clay. Clayster right now sitting at 1 and 6 to start off the game. Formal SETI at a 6 and 5. Expect to see major gunfights happening on those long range engagements. Right now, the spawn's in favor of Optic Gaming, but Faze doing a fantastic job of pushing them out.
Now, again, you have to talk about how is Optic Gaming going to come into this. Hot, definitely. I think a map like Solar Hardpoint is definitely going to be an advantage for them. You've got to look at how warm. Oh, Attach with a nice 2-piece. Looking for the third. Attach not going to be able to get it. But you have to look at the you know, how much of a tempo a Faze going to have coming into this grand final.
Absolutely, the double stun grenade kill, something you don't see too often here in Advanced Warfare. SCUF, all calculated, right, Benson?
Oh,
26 to 29 at this moment. The rotation towards the back garage now coming from Optic Gaming. Faze in the good position, though.
Karma's going to pick up that scrap time, and you can see on that minimap, it's those red arrows that do have control of that early rotation. Now it's just a question, can they hold off the initial wave of Optic Gaming players? Clayster not able to find 2. Enable on the Hardpoint, no. Looking to see if he can pick up any of the Optic Gaming players. Going to fire out the first stun grenade. Does have another one at his disposal, should he choose to use it. But Zuma is going to go out and clean up everyone from Optic Gaming.
This is what makes Faze so deadly in the hard points. They have Attach push out. They have Zuma push out. Both of them pick up a 2-piece each of their own. They're doing it yet again. 25 uncontested seconds now for Faze as they take a commanding lead.
And whilst all this is going on, as you mentioned, you know, Enable's just on the Hardpoint. Oh, Clayster! The headshot on Formal. Oh, sorry, the headshot on Crim6 and then the melee on Formal. Nice plays coming from him. Finally, Optic Gaming able to get a little bit of control, but their Hardpoint's going to be controlled by Attach now. Finally, he falls, and Optic Gaming, they're going to play for that final 15 seconds of scrap time. But again, a look at that mini-map. You can see Faze ready and waiting for the rotation.
Yeah, Faze more than happy to give Optic Gaming those last 10 seconds as they will have a perfect setup for the back lot hill. The push coming from Glass Wall. Enable spots one player. He winds up getting cut down. Attach wins the gunfight there up against SCUF. 21-second lead for Faze as they gain early control.
I was worried about how the Faze were going to come out in this grand final. Well,
oh, they're here.
Questions have been fully answered. Attach 15 and 8. Zuma 15 and 9. Everyone playing extremely well. This is the best chance they've had really of beating Optic Gaming all year long. When you think about it, just need to win 1 best of 5 as opposed to 2, which is how it's been for the most part of the year. They're feeling very amped up. Enable though, not able to finish that final kill on the Hardpoint. He's going to fall. Attach is going to drop as well, and it's actually going to be Crim6 able to break the hill.
Got to give a shout out to Enable. He actually has the highest KD of all the Faze members so far this event, being super consistent. Clayster was saying that prior to this matchup. He loves having Ian on his team. He's always positive no matter what the circumstance is. Expect to see him stay consistent throughout the series.
Almost going to drop. That means Scumpy's going to be one of the last plays for Optic Gaming on the Hardpoint, and he just gets flooded. That's Zuma being extremely aggressive. He's going to play for that final 5 seconds. But again, you can see Optic Gaming setting up ready for this final Hardpoint on the first rotation. Those red arrows again, trying to flood towards him. Karma on your screen, he's able to pick up one, looking for more. He actually has someone directly next to him, unable to pick up the kill. Scumpy is going to be on the hard point. The assist is going to come in as Formal slaying over him. Now, Optic trying to mount a comeback. Surprised to see them down at this point, but Scump is able to pick up one. That was enable. Meanwhile, kills coming in that kill feed for Faze. Scump jumps off the hard point. See if he can potentially try and bait attach in, and he's done just that. Peeks back in, peekaboo. There's the kill. Now can he get the kill up top cat? Of course he can. That's enable. Scumpy heating up. That's 4 successive kills for him before he finally goes down, and Formal spawning out.
Ben, Faze is doing such a fantastic job of coordinating their pushes. They're always pitching the hard point. Right now, Optic Gaming trying to do the same, but they keep getting cut down before they can even get to the hill.
Scump, he's going to drop now, looking at Karma once again, 14 and 19. He's struggled for some parts of this event, but he's had his moments, that's for sure. And it's moments just like this in a grand final when you need to win 2 best-of-5s, where you really are going to see that unbelievably talented Karma.
Oh, absolutely, Ben. After the first rotation of hills, Faze finds themselves up by a half a minute. All 4 players of Optic Gaming are negative, Ben. I can't remember the last time I've ever said that.
I mean, it was probably when we watched them play Epsilon yesterday.
Well, yeah, that was a rough series, to say the least. Right now, Crim staying alive inside the hard point. The push coming from middle cuts from Faze. You can see Formal just expecting the pinch to come from glass wall. Unfortunately for him, that player already snuck in from that bottom pool walkway.
And this is where you need to see Optic just try and get things going a little bit, get a bit of momentum, because right now Faze, just running this game. Zuma 24 kills, Attach 25. Clay not too far behind, of course, at 23. Speaking of Clay, let's spectate his point of view. He's going to have a couple players in front of him, but nope, Scump just comes in, slaps him across the face, picks up the melee. 91 to a 1-15 game, 15 seconds left on this first hard point of the second rotation, and Formal thinking about the next hill.
Clayster had a little bit of a rough start to this game, starting 1 and 6, now bouncing back. Formal has cooled down, to say the least, and it reflects in the score. Faze up by 20 seconds as we move to the pipes hard point. The control of the spawn also going to Faze, Ben. Look to see Optic try to flip the spawn.
This is where Formal needs to put down some good shots, but he's not able to do so.
How does Attach hit that?
Nable just going to be lying on the hill as well, and they can think about just trying to make sure they have that top spawn, but they're going to need to force their way through, because in comes Optic Gaming. They're going to be flooding, and Nable doing a great job of just staying alive. Players all around him. They should be able to pick up at least one. No, not able to. And Optic Gaming break the hill. 37 seconds left on it, but immediately Zuma flies into the hard point and picks up 2 kills.
This is what Zuma's done all weekend long. A big reason why they were able to take down Denial there in the winner's bracket finals. He pops into the hard point, picks up a 2-piece, clears the way for the likes of Attach and Clayster to clean things out for the rest of his team. 30 seconds still separating these 2 teams.
Zuma now playing for that final 15 seconds, picked up 1, unable to clean up Karma. Hardpoint's going to be contested. He knows he needs to win the gunfight. The scrap time is going to be big. It's going to put them just shy of 30, well, nearly actually 28 points down.
These next few gunfights are absolutely crucial. Optic pushing from pipe side, all Faze spawning up from glass. Scump picks up 3 kills there. Finally putting more shots down is Karma. The early rotation lead to Optic Gaming. A massive swing there in time.
And this is where you need to see them push out the hill, and unfortunately they were just a little too slow to do that, and Faze is going to capitalize. A very, very simple break, 4 plays down.
Ben, there's the pinch I was talking about. Flooding 2 from glass side, flooding 2 from pipes. They completely catch Optic off guard. Scump doing all he can. 10 captures to his name, but his counterpart Zuma has 11 caps and is 40 and 23.
40 and 23 with 2.5 minutes left. Zuma is just taking full control of this grand final, currently on a 2 streak, looking for more. There's going to be players just to his left-hand side. There we go. Another easy pick. Turns around, unfortunately, unable to get that. Meanwhile, Attach on the hard point. Faze extending their lead to 35 points. 12 seconds of scrap time. This is big. Formal knows it. He's going to go for the contest, and Formal is going to win it. That scrap time should be going for them. Now, the battle of the rotation. Zuma's going to go down, and Optic desperately now going to try and fight. Scump is there, has the support of a teammate. That's going to be Karma. Karma now needs to win this gunfight. This is so, so important that he does.
Karma versus Clayster. Who's going to count?
One more behind him as well.
He's getting flanked now from glass wall. It's actually 2 players. He gets cut down there by who? Zuma yet again. Positive 19. 11 captures. Completely leading
Zuma.
Faze here in this game.
We're watching Zuma right now because I believe
52
kills is the highest amount of kills anyone has dropped thus far at UMG Dallas. And Zuma is well on track to break that in the grand final. He is lighting up this main stage. 46 and 25, 11 caps again on a 3 streak. He's desperately trying to hunt down the Optic plays for kills. Faze keep control of the hard point. And honestly, they have played this just perfectly, Jack.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Benson, 60-second lead for Faze. It's almost mathematically impossible. Solar hard point going to go to Faze. Up 1-0 now in this grand final. Best of 5. Benson, if you're on Optic Gaming, if you're SCUF, the captain of this squad, what are you saying to your teammates here to keep your composure?
Forget about this first map, man.
Yeah.
We got to go hard in that search and destroy. I mean, the S&D is going to be Detroit. It's a map which, you know, we just saw Optic Gaming win. But, I mean, dude, I don't know. I really don't know. Faze could come out here and take a 2-0 lead, which could be against what a lot of people thought. I thought having Optic playing all the way through the losers bracket, that we're going to come in hot, that we're going to storm through the first couple of maps, but Faze had other ideas. Zuma drops 50, has 27 seconds to see if he can tie that record at 52, potentially could beat it, but unfortunately he's going to fall. Meanwhile, Clay, he's dropped 45 as well. That is just stupid slaying from Faze.
Overall, Faze is positive 35 in the slaying department, just shutting down Optic Gaming on all fronts in game number 1. I'll be honest with you, Ben, not the start I expected from the green wall. Now going into Detroit, search and destroy.
51, can he get 52? No! Zuma, play for the extra kill, man!
Oh, he's getting hyped in the booth right now. He'd rather give some high fives to his teammates. You can see the energy on his face there. Faze Clan now up 1-0.
And that's going to really knock Optic Gaming back a little bit, because I think they would have gone in feeling extremely good about themselves, having played a lot of Call of Duty today. Faze, on the other hand, they've been sat in the pro player lounge, just kind of chilling, having a conversation, eating some fruit. That's about it.
Eating some fruit, the key to victory there.
Clearly is.
Map
It's
number
a factor, man.
1.
It's a factor.
Faze Clan going up 1-0 in this series, Benson. You think map 2 is going to be a must-win for Optic? Because game 3 is comeback uplink, and they lost that one last series.
This is what's great. This whole series, you could see any of the maps going either way. The only one, and this is where it gets really scary. The only map which I look at in the first best of 5, which I think Faze win 100%, is Recovery, Search and Destroy. Problem for Optic Gaming, that's game 5. They cannot allow the series to go the distance. If they do, I think Faze take it.
There you can see your scoreboard from game number 1, all the Zuma show. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. When we come back from this quick commercial break, Detroit, Search and Destroy.